Hey everybody, I'm Blitz. Welcome to another episode of Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. So today is kind of a different sort of episode. I did this back a few weeks ago when the last big patch hit, and right before it hit, actually. What's going on is the developers have been releasing a couple of videos and a couple bits of teasers on their subreddit, on their YouTube page, and on Twitter, and it's kind of juicy. There's some really cool stuff. So what I'm going to do today is just show you guys what we've got. There's a couple new units, and a couple different things that we need to talk about too. So let's get right into it. So the first picture I've got for you guys is from their Twitter feed, and it shows a footman standing on top of a pile of dead peasants. But there's little tiny itty bitty swords laying everywhere, these little dagger things. So this leads me to believe, or led me to believe, that this is a rogue, or as they're calling it, the thief. Probably something with a very fast attack rate, and maybe doesn't do as much damage, but in great numbers, they're probably a low-cost unit. So this is a clip of the thief in action. This was posted to their YouTube page. Look at those little guys. They're holding their little dagger there. Look how cool it is. So you can see that they're stabbing and stabbing and stabbing and doing no damage to the footman. The deal with that is that just for testing purposes, they raise the hit points to unlimited for the footmen. So the little thieves can't kill them, but that's probably where the screenshot came from, the aftermath of this battle. I really like watching them walk in and just stab them, stab. It seems like they're not really killing themselves either. A lot of times units like the samurai specifically do a lot of team killing, and it really seems like these guys don't do a lot of that. So I'm wondering if that dagger just really doesn't do much damage at all. Anyway, we will see how that goes. So this next clip here is of a footman versus the thief again. And now the question I had was, how much damage do these guys really do? But you can see in the background that there are 3 footmen, and one of the footmen actually dies to another footman. So that's implying that the hit points aren't turned all the way up to max on this, and he still gets hit 3 times right in the groin, and it still doesn't kill the footman. So either the footman has a lot of health, or these guys don't really do that much damage, but in high numbers they probably are pretty dangerous. I also wanted to make you guys aware that look how he's stabbing. I mean, not necessarily where he's stabbing, but look how he is stabbing. It's an upward swing. It's like instead of a downward. Everything else that I can think of is a downward hit or a forward thrust, like the spears. And he's trying to vertically stab up and up and up and up and up. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I thought it was something you guys might want to see a little bit of. I just love how he just stabs right in the groin time after time after time after time in the loops. Next up on our list is this screen. So this got 3 different things we need to talk about in it, or 3 things that I saw. Maybe you guys can see some more that are interesting. So there's a guy in the background, on the back right, and on the foreground right in the middle of the screen that are holding up this giant pole arm or battle axe or halberd or whatever it is. I don't know what kind of unit he would be. That's kind of the problem I've been having, because we already have the barbarians, we already have the Vikings, so I figured these guys would be in the same thing, maybe a berserker, something like that. But they have this giant battle axe that they're ready to go take out the guys on the other side of the screen. Now, right in front of the guy with the foreground battle axe, you can see that there's a samurai sword. Now look how his arms are. I know it's not a really good picture, but you'll see it here in a little bit. Look how his arms are. He's holding the samurai sword above his head in it, instead of the footman onto his right, who's holding it directly straight up. So it looks like the stance for holding the samurai sword has been changed. Also, there are little yellow lines, almost tracers from, not from Overwatch, but tracers from the musket men in the background. So what they've been doing is they've actually been testing modern weapons. They haven't made new skins or new models for it, but we're going to see in this clip in a little bit how they're firing as a machine gun rather than the musket. There's no little musket balls. It's like an energy or a laser almost. So let's watch here as the musket men. They're still musket men because they still have a musket, even though they fire much like a machine gun. Now check it out. Look how fast they're firing. And what I really like is how accurate they are. It tells me that the developers, it's not really a projectile, or the projectile isn't it doesn't have to be random. Like the regular musket ball, you don't really ever know where it goes, or the poacher's arrows. So they probably dialed in the accuracy just for testing purposes, increased the fire rate to like crazy sauce, and just had fun with it. I mean, that's perfect for testing. What would be crazy is an enemy unit that you could defend against this, because it goes right through the shields. and like the shields weren't even there, like they're paper. So, like, can you imagine having a tank or some sort of a pillbox where you have your guys stuck inside? I don't know. I really like the possibility, and this tells me that the developers are really working on different possibilities and different angles that take the game. And now that they've finished with Cluster Truck, they're working on this significantly more. Now, there is one more important thing to take out of this. I guess two. I already talked a little bit about how the samurai are holding their swords differently. I've got another clip of that after this. But now, look at the berserker, as I'm going to call it, the guy with the big battle axe. Look how much taller he is than the regular units. You can see that from the first screenshot I showed of it. But when we zoom in here a little bit, he's almost twice as tall as the regular, the shieldmen and the spearmen. I think that is really crazy. So just take a look at that right here and see how big he is compared to him. That's telling me he's got more hit points. Maybe they could scale down like the peasants or something. That also tells me all the different angles and awesome things that they're working on in this game. I'm really, really excited for it to continue developing here. And my final clip for you guys is not terribly exciting, but it does show these samurai as they're walking with their new position with their swords. What I like about this is that it's not in front of them. So all of this battle, it doesn't seem like any of these guys really team kill each other, which was a big problem with the samurai before. There's a lot of suicides and a lot of ooh, that was a good kill. A lot of suicides and a lot of just nasty team killing going on with these guys. You couldn't really group them close, and it does look like they're grouped pretty close, and they take care of it. Some guys are flying way up in the background. Maybe it's not quite right. I don't know, but that's my guess on it. Ooh, googly-eyed monster. It's my guess is that they're holding it up. I don't know if that's an actual way a samurai holds a sword or not, but it's kind of neat to see how they changed it from just the stock footman to now a different stance. I can't wait to see all the other things. I love watching those guys fly in the background. That is totally awesome. Anyway, guys, that is what I've got for you today. I don't know when this is going to be complete. Last time it was about 3 or 4 or 5 days after they posted all this stuff, which would indicate early next week. That doesn't mean anything, though, because they're working on it now, and they don't really want to release the packages and the new versions of the game until it gets a little bit further in development. So that's fine. We'll just play it by ear, and you can rest assured that I'll have new videos, the new things, as soon as we can. I'm also working on some other videos right now of regular battles like you guys have been suggesting. So if you do have more suggestions down below, go ahead and leave them. I also looked through Cluster Truck, and I said in a few videos ago that if you pre-ordered it, or if you bought Cluster Truck, you got tabs for free with it, or you got the pre-alpha for tabs. That's only for pre-ordering. So now that Cluster Truck has been released, you can't pre-order it, so you can't get the game, which is tough. But November 15th, a month from now, is when they're going to go to open alpha. If you do sign up down below in the link down below, then you can probably, I don't quote me on this, but you'll have a good chance of being able to get the next version of the game, to be able to play it there on November 15th with everyone else that's currently playing it. So that is what I've got for you guys today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know down below. Give me some suggestions of things that you would like to see, some different items that you would like to see in this game. The thief and this berserker, or whatever we want to call it, have really opened my eyes up to different things, as well as the machine gunner. I had no expectation of them doing that. I was thinking like, hey, you know what, we're gonna have certain things like we always have. We're gonna have like a guy with a sword, we're gonna have a guy with a sword and a shield, we're gonna have a guy with a mace and a shield, that sort of thing. But this really opens up the possibilities for different factions and cool stuff like that. So definitely leave your suggestions down below. We will get to them, and keep your stick on the ice. We'll catch you next time.